Taking China to a UN tribunal over a long-running territorial dispute in the South China Sea. Manila claims most of the sea, including the Spratly Islands, but China also says it owns areas, many of which are rich in resources. Margot Tigas is in Hong Kong.
What the Philippines has basically done here is go to take on a legal solution, or rather to find a legal solution to territorial disputes between the Philippines and China, particularly in relation to China's 9-dash line claim, which basically almost includes the entire South China Sea. Now, the Philippines is saying that this is encroaching on territory which technically should be for the exploration solely of the Philippines. These are waters that are within 200 nautical miles from the Philippine shore, in the north and the western sides of the Philippines, which are facing the South China Sea. Now, Chinese vessels have recently been encroaching in those waters. Chinese fishermen have also been seen there, and Chinese ships who have been patrolling those waters have been seen to be intimidating Filipino fishermen. At least that is the claim of the Philippine Coast Guard and Filipino fishermen in that area. So what the Philippine government wants to see happen now is for China to basically have to sustain what it signed when it signed the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which is to respect the rights of the Philippines, which sits 200 nautical miles from this area that China is now encroaching on.
We strongly believe that this action is the appropriate response to put our diplomatic relations in its proper context. We hope that China would join us in this aspiration.
Now, again, this does not mean that the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea Tribunal, which is just an arbitration tribunal, can declare who owns what in the South China Sea. This, in fact, doesn't even really encompass the entire South China Sea maritime dispute, which also involves other countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. All the Philippines is challenging at this point is China's claim to waters that are within 200 nautical miles of the Philippine shoreline.